Now, please welcome the College of Arts and Sciences graduating class of 2016.
Please be seated. Dr. Philip Glick, Mace Bearer, Chair of the Faculty Senate, and Professor of Surgery and Management, will officially open the College of Arts and Sciences graduation commencement ceremony. Dr. Glick.
President Tripathi, Vice Provost Hamill, Dean Pittman, university representatives, distinguished guests, the graduates, the candidates for degrees, the faculty, the staff, and most importantly, the parents, families, and friends of the graduates and candidates, we are now assembled. I hereby declare the College of Arts and Sciences graduation commencement of the University at Buffalo to be officially opened.
Good afternoon. I'm Graham Hamill, Vice Provost for Graduate Education and Dean of the Graduate School. On behalf of the University at Buffalo community, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2016 College of Arts and Sciences graduate commencement. Please stand and join in the singing of our national anthem performed by Ms. Laura Munson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce our special guests among the members of our platform party. Please hold your applause until all of the guests have been introduced, and I would ask each person to stand as I introduce him or her. Dr. Satish K. Tripathi, University President. Dr. Alexander Cartwright, SUNY Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor. Mr. J. Bryce Bible, Vice President and Chief Information Officer. Mr. Dennis R. Black, Vice President for University Life and Services. Dr. Stephen C. Dunnett, Vice Provost for International Education. Dr. Robert Granfield, Vice Provost for Faculty Affairs. Ms. Laura E. Hubbard, Vice President for Finance and Administration. Ms. Nancy E. Payton, Vice President for University Communications. Dr. E. Bruce Pittman, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. A. Scott Weber, Senior Vice Provost for Academic Affairs. Ms. Nancy L. Wells, Vice President for Philanthropy and Alumni Engagement. Dr. Philip L. Glick, Mace Bearer, Chair of the Faculty Senate and Professor of Surgery and Management. Many faculty are also marching in today's procession. Please join me in thanking the faculty for their outstanding work and their commitment to our university community. I would also like to congratulate the 2016 graduates from the College of Arts and Sciences. We are gathered here to celebrate the accomplishments of the 147 doctoral students PhD and doctorate of audiology, and the 365 master's students whose degrees will be conferred today. You've worked extremely hard to get to this moment, spending countless hours in advanced seminars discussing abstract concepts, methods, and theories with your professors and peers, doing research in laboratories and in libraries, and bringing that work to culmination in theses and dissertations. This ceremony we're about to undertake acknowledges the work you've done. Commencement marks a moment of transition. As the recipients of graduate degrees, you're joining a small, elite group. Demographers tell us that only 3% of the world's population has achieved a master's degree, and a mere 0.2% has achieved a doctoral degree. You are now entering a group made up of the most educated, best-trained people in the world, people who have self-consciously dedicated themselves to the advancement of knowledge through scholarship and research. At this moment of transition, we look backwards and forwards at the same time. You might think of this backwards look in terms of your own experience, how much you've developed intellectually and otherwise since you first began graduate studies. Commencement also encourages us to look backwards in a broader sense, beyond individual experience, to see ourselves as part of a long tradition of research, scholarship, and knowledge production. That's why we wear medieval gowns, badges, headgear, and other regalia, to demonstrate that we're part of that long-standing and proud tradition of research and scholarship that is the core of the university. At the same time, the very name of this ceremony, commencement, indicates a beginning, and in that sense, this is a forward-looking moment as each of you begins to confront the many challenges that our world faces today in the various realms of politics, economics, health, environment, society, and culture. Those challenges are very real and can seem overwhelming, but do not forget that as alumni of UB's Graduate School and College of Arts and Sciences, you are now among the best equipped in the world to meet those challenges head on. It's now my privilege and honor to introduce UB's president, Dr. Satish K. Tripathi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to all our families and honored guests. Most of all, congratulations to the College of Arts and Sciences class of 2016. As graduates, you will have a permanent place of honor in UB's proud history and our bright future. You will make history and you will shape the future of your professions because of what you have learned here and how you will pass that knowledge on to others. Your achievements and now and in the future are the outcome of your ethical pursuit of knowledge, inquiry, and discovery, your embrace of new ideas, new models of thinking, and your commitment to collaboration, intellectual exchange, and dialogue across borders of all kinds, disciplinary, ideological, and cultural. These are the intellectual values we prize above all at UB. They're what we seek to instill in all our students as we prepare them for global leadership in their fields. As graduate students, you have lived these values each day. And as alumni and UB-educated global citizens, you will carry these values with you out into the world. As you have learned, engaging with multiple and conflicting points of view is richly rewarding but seldom easy. This year, universities across the nation have been the site of intense debate about what it means to create and sustain a genuinely inclusive campus environment. Here at UB, for example, we have grappled together with how to negotiate the boundaries of freedom of expression within an inclusive, welcoming academic community. These are difficult but necessary conversations. And there is great and enduring value in them. Exploring difficult concepts from multiple points of view is key to what we do as an academic community. And it is critical to leading and contributing meaningfully in every discipline and every profession. When you are established in your careers and look back at your time at UB, I expect what you will remember above all are the people you lived and learned with here. You will remember the most difficult concepts in your field because you learned them through conversations with peers who challenged you to reach farther, dig deeper. You will remember vigorously debating competing theories and controversial hypotheses with students who saw the world differently than you. You will remember the first time you mentored a student, counseled a client, or collaborated with a lab partner from a culture very different from your own. And what you learned by looking through their eyes will continue to shape your perspective in the future. Together with the concepts, theories, and practical techniques you have mastered in the lecture hall, library, and classroom, this is what you will take with you into your professional lives. The community you serve as professionals, scholars, and faculty members will be healthier and stronger for these values, whether that means bringing a cross-cultural perspective into your academic discipline, workplace, and neighborhood, collaborating across fields and institutions to solve the urgent challenges in the 21st century, or working to ensure equitable access to social, cultural, and economic opportunities in your communities and on a national and global level. In an increasingly globalized world, we need educated citizens like you, collaborative leaders whose perspectives have been shaped by engaging with multiple points of view. Class of 2016, as you prepare to take up the next great challenge in your lives, know that your alma mater is deeply proud of you, and we look forward to all that you will achieve and contribute in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Tripathi. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. E. Bruce Pittman, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Thank you, Graham. Congratulations to all our graduates here today. You made it. Well done. It's good to reach this point, isn't it? And to all you graduates, be sure later on to turn to mom and dad, your grandpas and grandmas, sisters, brothers, roommates, spouses, friends. All of them have helped you get to this day. They've put up with you during qualifying exams. Yeah. They've heard a little bit about the laments of writing theses and dissertations. Graduates, be sure to reach out to those folks and give them a big hug and make sure you say thank you. And to all those moms and dads and friends and spouses, all these graduates, resplendent in their gowns, they're done complaining. For now, right? For all our graduates, what's next? You're leaving UB in an election year, a time of anxiety in this country. We hear about all kinds of proposals about walls, immigration, Wall Street. Whether you are on the political left or the political right, there's plenty to get excited about. And if you let it, plenty to get you angry about. Plenty that could lead you down a path of division and confrontation. Don't do it. You are well aware of the employment situation you are facing. If you pick up a newspaper, you read about drug epidemics. There is always a headline about gun violence, suicide bombings, a never-ending war somewhere. Back in the day when I was a student, And you know you're in trouble whenever anyone opens with a line like that, right? All of us riding our dinosaurs up and down Main Street. Back in that day, it was another time of upheaval, though. There were protests. The cynicism was palpable. Don't trust anyone over 30. There was a great song of that day by The Temptations, if you've never heard of it, Ball of Confusion. I love it. It captured so much of the essence. Evolution, revolution, gun control, the sound of soul. Shooting rockets to the moon, kids growing up too soon. Politicians say more taxes will solve everything. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? And what I really love about the song, the bite in the lyrics, was this deep bass of Melvin Franklin saying, "And the band played on." It sounds like we're doing it all over again to you. We, my generation, we could have done better, we probably should have done better. But please don't be too hard on us. Let me read to you from somewhere else, and I quote, "Students graduating from American universities during these last few years have faced great uncertainties. They have not been practically assured, as was once the case, of securing appropriate employment. Many must have been overwhelmed by the sense of frustration. I am reminding you then that there is a long, hard struggle ahead." Those are the words of Samuel P. Capon, the Capon Hall dude. He was chancellor of the university for some 25 years. Those were his words during the 1933 commencement. "You were running into the flotsam and detritus of the Great Recession. You see a greater Middle East up in flames. My generation had something called stagflation, and Vietnam was up in flames. 35 years before that, it was an economic depression, and the whole world was up in flames. Each generation faces its troubles and solves them, more or less, according to their best abilities. But in spite of that Groundhog Day feeling, I still remain hopeful. One thing that gives me hope: in 2015, across the US, some 62 million people volunteered in their communities. That's 1 out of every 5 people, 1 out of every 5, man, woman, or child, giving of their time and talent to others. That tells me that people care, that many, many, many people are not being taken in by the xenophobia, the race and class and gender wars that are erupting around us. And that leads me to my second reason for hope: you. Your generation is the generation that's at the forefront, pushing for notions of equality and acceptance. So I remain very hopeful. Yes, you are facing great uncertainty as you go into the workplace. If these days are challenging, of course we know that challenges mean opportunities. We may not all be destined to make the headlines of the New York Times, but let me recall the words of my personal hero, Bobby Kennedy, who was senator from this great state. He was in South Africa in 1966 at a time when that country was facing the horrors of apartheid. Kennedy said, "Few will have the greatness to bend history itself, but each of us can work to change a small portion of events. It is from numberless, diverse acts of courage and belief that human history is shaped. Each time a man stands up for an ideal or acts to improve the lot of others or strikes out against injustice, he sets forth a tiny ripple of hope. And crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, these ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance." You are graduates. You must be those centers of energy and daring. Your advanced degrees position you to be the leaders of the 2020s and beyond. The future will be shaped by those among you who are willing to commit yourselves fully to advancing the hopes and aspirations of all the peoples of this country. And in that, in trusting in you, I remain hopeful. So let us all dedicate ourselves to a task. Again, borrowing Kennedy's words, let us dedicate ourselves to the task, as the Greeks said so many years ago, to tame the savageness of man and make gentle the life of this world. We're counting on you guys. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Pittman. It is my pleasure to announce the names of recipients of university awards and special fellowships from among this year's degree candidates. Will each award or fellowship recipient, please rise when your name is announced and remain standing. And audience, please hold your applause until all recipients have been recognized. SUNY's Chancellor Award for Student Excellence honors those who have demonstrated and been recognized for their integration of academic excellence in other aspects of their lives, including leadership, athletics, career achievement, community service, or creative and performing arts. Among this year's graduates is a recipient of the SUNY Chancellor's Award, earning his PhD in music composition, Ethan Hayden. Awards to graduate students for excellence in teaching are presented to graduate students at UB who have demonstrated exemplary performance as instructors in our classrooms and laboratories. Among this year's graduates, those who received Institutional Excellence in Teaching Awards during their programs of study include Dobin Choi, Tanya Farnung Morrison, Julie Gass, Kimberly Camper DeMarco, Shosuke Kinugawa, Dustin McCall, Michael Rosas, Merwish Sawari, Timothy Yanankis Detiris. Fellowships are special study opportunities and forms of support designated to attract and retain graduate students who have exceptional academic records and further potential. Arthur Alfonso Schomburg Fellowships are awarded to highly qualified members of groups underrepresented at the graduate level who display superior academic promise. The fellowship is named in honor of one of the 20th century's most highly respected scholars of Afro-Latin American and Afro-American culture. The recipients of Schomburg Fellowships among this year's graduating class are Paul Dominguez, Pamela Gabriela Escalante, Ashley L. Powell, Lena Taubes Robles, Gregory D. Young. UB's presidential fellowships are offered to students with truly exceptional academic records to support their pursuit of a doctoral degree. The presidential fellows among this year's graduates are Heather Ann Duncan, Tanya Farnung Morrison, Nicholas Frangipane, Katie Ann Lamberto, Marion Carici. Integrated Graduate Education and Research Trainee, or IGERT fellowships, are funded by the National Science Foundation and are designed to support outstanding doctoral students who are pursuing a collaborative education program and research experience that transcends disciplinary boundaries. Among this year's graduate recipients of IGERT fellowships are Michael Haberfield, Joshua S. Wallace. Fulbright scholarships are prestigious awards won through national competition by promising graduate students who wish to pursue an academic year of self-designed study or research in a foreign university. Among this year's graduates, the recipients of Fulbright scholarships are Kartul Annie, Jarius Ballin, Hanita Putra Julia, Sebastian Ingalls, Sarah Ishfaq Gill, and Shosuke Kinagawa. Audience, please join me in recognizing and celebrating the special achievements of these graduates.